Welcome to Business Now this evening and your weekly roundup of enterprise innovation and investment trends shaping Africa and the world, brought to you by your host Malcolm Sime. So this week on the show, in our lead story, we explore the shifting landscape of digital payments as cashless transactions rise across the region. Some businesses are still holding back. We speak with Kenyatta Alpha, the General Manager of Sales and Innovation at Pesapal, who breaks down the barriers slowing down adoption despite the sagging numbers. And in Agric Now, we had a coffee shop chat with the Executive Director of CURAD, the agribusiness incubator, on things coffee prices. And then we also spoke to a coffee farmer who brings beans from the farm to the cup. A very interesting conversation coming up. And in our investment spotlight, we sit down with Ellen Retabe, a financial market analyst, to assess Uganda's appeal to venture capital firms and the rise of alternative investments ahead of the 2025 Alternative Investments Conference. And in our final segment, we will dive into the markets, breaking down the week's key movements in the currencies and equities for the trading week starting 7th July 2025. But first, we look at the top business stories. And we start with the US-Africa, US-Europe strategic moves. Trump is hosting Africa Leaders Summit on the 9th and 11th July. A US-Africa summit in Washington will bring together presidents from Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal. The administration is reorienting from aid to trade and investment, assessing envoys on commercial deal-making. The EU-US trade deal delays. The EU now admits a full trade deal by the 9th of July deadline is impossible, shifting focus to an agreement in principle. Markets will be watching negotiations carefully. And Africa-specific highlights: the IMF is releasing $370 million to Ghana following a successful fourth review of its $3 billion extended credit facility. The International Monetary Fund Board meets on the 7th of July to approve a $370 million tranche, boosting Ghana's fiscal stability and then Lego startups. So we also know of the 7th to 12th July event in Lagos, which is going to be Africa's biggest premier startup event, returning for its 10th year. It brings together entrepreneurs, investors, corporates, and policymakers to explore the theme, Disrupting the Next Decade. Nigeria will be hosting the Afnes Mining Summit on the 15th and 17th July, though slightly outside this week. The upcoming Afnes Summit in Abuja 15th-17th July could shape investor interest by spotlighting mining reforms, SME pitches, and regional integration in critical minerals. This is Business Now. Now, despite the growing adoption of cashless transactions across East Africa, a section of businesses still prefer bulk cash transfers, slowing down the momentum of digital transaction payments technology, and especially here in Uganda. So Pesapal is operating in about a dozen countries in Africa, and says volumes are rising, entrenched habits and structural bottlenecks are now holding some enterprises back. Kenyatta Alpha, the General Manager for Sales and Innovation at Pesapal, shares insights on bridging the gap between innovation and adoption.
So with Pesapal, we provide a 360 payment ecosystem that now powers any business to accept card payments, that is via Visa, MasterCard, and mobile money. Then away from that, we also enable that business to be able to sell goods and services online. So you have one player that gives you everything 360, and all these payments, we give you a tool that enables you to view how the sales revenue is coming in real time. What we've done for the fuel operators, we've built the Pesapal forecourt management solution. And this solution basically automates and optimizes operations of the fuel station. It comes with a couple of capabilities, including wet stock management. So you're able to track fuel that you have underground in the tanks. 2, it comes with attendant tagging. So with attendant tagging, you're able to track the productivity of your workers because we give them a tag. This is like a key that authorizes every fueling activity. Yeah. So whatever they do, you have preview of their sales and how much they have cashed in. Then 3, it gives you real-time visibility into your sales. Yeah. So even if you have 100 stations countrywide, you are able to track the pump throughput in terms of how much each pump has sold, what volumes, and how the customer has been paying. Then it gives you ability to do what we call remote monitoring. And this is very essential when it comes to oil marketing companies that have multiple branches across the country. So you'd want to know how a station probably in Gulu is performing. You get seated here in Kampala. So with our solution, you're able to have visibility remotely into any station that is automated.
On one dashboard.
On one dashboard. And then finally, all the transactions that are done point to the IFRIS system. And now this enables you to be digital compliant as an oil marketing company. Now, to take it a little bit a notch higher, when you use the ATG probes, ATG is automatic tank gauging probes. So those are like, it's equipment that we put underground the tank. So now with that equipment, you have visibility of, first of all, the details about the tank.
The whole infrastructure.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can be able to see the allege, the empty space. You're able to see the product volume. Yes. You're also able to tell the impurities. You know, you find that in some tanks, you find their water. Yeah. So with ATG to even tell you how much water you have in the tank, so that you don't track it as as stock. With our reserve port solution, we give you it's pretty much a booking engine that comes with a payment gateway. Yeah. So when you have your inbuilt website, or even when you don't have a website, you can leverage our reserve port solution to have that experience. So you don't need a website as a hotel for you to start selling your services. You just have to sign up with pesapal.com. We extend to you our reserve port booking engine that now will give you an experience that any online travel agent is giving you.
Ahead of the 2025 Alternative Investments Conference, the spotlight is now turning to Uganda's emerging venture capital scene, while tech startups and SMEs continue to seek financing. Analysts say investor appetite is growing, but slowly. Business now sat down with financial markets analyst Alan Britali to unpack the drivers, determinants, and long-term prospects for alternative capital inflows into the country.
Individuals like you and me may not have enough capital to influence an entrepreneur's life. But when money is pulled together through an investment club, through a circle, through a pension fund, more funds can be brought together and it can be managed. Is that we need to start by changing the laws that allow individuals, you and me, to support entrepreneurs. This is where we create a group of people called angel investors who are interested in taking risk and looking for new ideas through universities, through startups, to build a larger set of entrepreneurs to come through. But that requires two things. It requires a good law for startups. What incentives are we giving for people to become entrepreneurs to take risk? Then we also give incentives for venture capitalists, the individuals that are moving their money from treasury bills to make it available for entrepreneurs. How do you reward them? Because the likelihood of loss for someone investing in an acre is almost 50%. So you need to give them incentives that allow them to take this risk and build these companies. So for me, the biggest lessons we can learn from Mauritius, we can learn from Rwanda, we can also learn from Johannesburg in South Africa, is that we need these two sets of laws that allow the creation of startups, incentivizing entrepreneurs. And I know the Ministry of Trade is working on a startup bill which is still in process. And I also know that the Capital Markets Authority is working on improving the venture capital rules for the industry. But for me, these two rules, if they are put in place, will be the game changer that then allows the industry to start to grow, allowing Ugandan capital to finance entrepreneurs and SMEs, where we are seeing people experimenting with over-the-top startups on mobile money and the other applications. We are looking at digital credit, people borrowing online or doing payments online. We are seeing more experimentation with cross-border remittances using blockchain. So a lot of money is going to the fintech, and we have seen up to $4 million to $10 million coming in to finance startups that are experimenting with fintech. However, we're also now seeing a shift. There's growing interest in healthcare and health-related startups. The belief is that in Africa, the health system is broken and it's ripe for reorganization through technology. So we are seeing a lot of interest, and many accelerators are being set up, incubators are being set up. Venture capitalists are looking for startups that are creating and trying to solve the healthcare problem. So for Uganda's case, if we are to reorganize, we may want to expand beyond fintech and look at other sectors. How do we support our doctors to become innovators? How do we support our nurses to also become, to leverage technology and build the ideas that they know? Because the people who have the ideas are the practitioners, but they don't have the skill sets to build the companies using technology. So one of the things that we are working on our side is how do we use our resources to provide capital to some of these neglected but important sectors? Can we provide $1 million and see how we can build out and support the doctors and nurses to build ideas? So it is work that is in progress because so many things are changing. The laws are being revised. Some laws are being put in place, but we also need to build the funds that will support these ideas to come to life. And we need people like me and you who may have some knowledge about corporate governance, who may have knowledge about business development, to also come and support the entrepreneurs to build the companies and increase their ability to thrive.
All right, so tonight on our edition of Business Now, we're talking coffee. You're welcome. This is a very important topic to the country because coffee is getting closer to becoming our #1 export foreign exchange earner, if not #1 after gold. They're always rubbing onto each other. Exports have surged 1.97 billion. That number we've never even heard of. The other day, tourism, 1 billion, and is also getting closer to being another important foreign exchange earner. When you talk about coffee, tourism, and talk about money, you're talking about is something very, very big for the country's economic growth. So what we're going to be discussing tonight on Business Now is just a tiny thing, that tiny part of what the industry is about, or of the value chain. It is up there, but there's something that's happening down here. Domestic coffee consumption. What about coffee support institutions? So those are the guests we have on Business Now. And to start with, Bruno Bargari at Sera Wild Coffee. It's a big brand. I saw the brand in Germany the other day, winning awards. You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Tell me, when you first opened this place, what was the reception by the public? Because the Ugandan public is just getting to learn specialty coffee. Tell me what it was like.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. It was a very great experience. First of all, we had all sorts of people walking in and with different expectations. Some would come to us and say, guys, people have done it before and have failed. We are giving you just a couple of days. You are going to pack bags and go back. And some would come and say, hey guys, this is fantastic. This is very good. It has been a mixed reaction. But I'm telling you, I think it was overdue and it was really, it has opened up, personally, it has opened up my eyes to what Ugandans expect out of coffee. Because I've realized people come here and men are so much ignorant about the product.
And with me also in the room is Apollo. Apollo is from CURAD. CURAD is an agribusiness incubator. Among the incubators that you have are people who work with coffee. You actually started as a coffee pilot or something like that, giving an opportunity to more than 400 startups.
So, and I've seen numbers are really going up. The revenue, I don't know in how much space of time, of 2 billion shillings. Yeah, you correct me if I'm wrong. But talk to me, how has the journey been like with CURAD in making sure that there is in the value chain is supported?
We have supported a lot of people who are interested in starting something around coffee. More especially our young people who don't have the land but want to promote coffee, both local consumption and trade. Over the years, 10 years or so, we got a lot of successes where people have come in, tried to do something good around coffee, and ended up with their own brands and actually their own roastery.
So when you speak about bringing coffee home, apart from what is sold on the shelves in London, Tesco, everywhere, and pushing the Ugandan brand, it's important. But what about fair trade? What are the locals seeing in terms of domestic coffee consumption? You have supported brands. Those more than 150 corporations that you have created, the startups, what kind of value have they brought home?
Thank you very much. Very good question.
I would say out of those 150 odd brands that are produced at CURAD, more than 80% is actually consumed locally. So we have cooperatives that have come through and started value adding coffee and taking this coffee back and selling it to the farmers who had never tasted coffee. So this whole value addition around coffee has really started growing the coffee drinking culture in the country.
Yeah, that's true.
You have corporates from Masaka coming to roast their coffee, branding it and taking it back and selling to the farmers. We have brands out of Busoga. We have a big program in Busoga. We're supporting entrepreneurs in Busoga. We have now about 5 brands being made there under our SAVE program. And when they produce the coffee, 80% of it is taken back to Uganda and Luka. So we are getting coffee back in there, back to the communities where people must be able to enjoy it.
The crop coffee in particular, it needs a lot of passion and a lot of love. Like the others say, the great manure of the farmer it's like your food on the farm is the best manure you can ever have. So you have to be constantly monitoring your crop. The crop, right there from the growing it, the seeds, the harvesting, the after harvesting, then the whole processing. Because like you had said previously, if you don't have the quality crop, like right there from the garden, you won't have the quality coffee in the cup. There's a lot involved. A few challenges like any other farmer is facing, like in coffee. We are faced by the climate change, where you need to at some level to involve irrigation. Irrigation is very expensive. Yeah, for those who are doing it, we are doing irrigation. You need constant mulching and pruning because we are doing organic. We are not using any pesticides, so it's very expensive. It's very expensive. But at the end of the day, because we have passions, we are not making a break even yet, and it's not something I think I can promise you that we are making money right now. Because there is a lot in production. There is a lot of money put in production. But we have much hope that we shall make it. What we need to do, like even other stakeholders there, is to give Ugandans something quality. Something of a quality. I'm so sure, provided you have it there at their disposals, they'll have it and they appreciate it.
What more can we do to promote the coffee culture?
To start with, I think it's very important to talk to the young people, as I'd already indicated. When someone picks on something when they're still young, chances are they're going to grow with it and enjoy it for a long time. So we need to capture them young, and with organizations like ours that pick these young people, expose them to coffee, teach them about end-to-end coffee value addition and trade, show them where money can be made, and actually also consume the coffee. I think we are on our way to creating a new crop of Ugandans
That's true.
who love and drink coffee.
Yeah.
These guys who know I can make money from a quality cup of tea. A quality cup of coffee. I can trade. I can create markets for our farmers out there while making money for myself. Then, when the coffee is value added, when we produce so many brands and make them available locally and internationally, and these brands are going back to the farmers, then again we are growing even the new adult coffee consumers. I think within 15, 20 years, we shall grow the percentage of coffee that's consumed.
Yeah, that's right.
Apollo Sega from the CURAD agribusiness hub or agribusiness incubator. Thank you very much for coming on Business Now. And thank you, Bruno, from Sera Wild Coffee for having
pleasure.
the coffee channel.
Thanks for having me.
To promote the coffee culture, and
Yeah.
that's Business Now. A look at the currencies and equities. Today, the Uganda shilling remained relatively stable in the forex market, trading broadly around 3,586 and 3,588 per US dollar. According to analysts, this change was minimal. Compared to recent days, the shilling has seen negligible movement of 0.02% and up to 0.1%, essentially deemed flat. Analysts also say monthly stability reflects broader resilience and healthy inflows from coffee exports, remittances, and portfolio investments. In summary, today's forex market spot rates hover near 3,586 and 3,588 per US dollar, including a liquid stable interbank market. As we kick off the week, activity at the Uganda Securities Exchange opened the week on a mixed note, with the all-share index edging up 1,321 from 1,310 points, while the local company index eased slightly to 337 from 338 points. Turnover for the day stood at 5.5 million shillings, spread across 16 deals, and a total volume of 61,325 shares traded. Airtel Uganda and Umeme were among the most active counters, with Umeme accounting for the highest turnover of 2.48 million, followed by Airtel Uganda at 2.08 million. MTN Uganda also featured prominently, closing marginally higher at 260, with over 1,000 shares traded across 6 deals. This is Business Now. And that wraps up this edition of Business Now, tracking today's moves and tomorrow's money for you, from digital payment trends and climate-smart agriculture to venture capital flows and the latest market insights. We hope this week's stories brought you closer to the business behind the headlines. I'm Malcolm Sime. You can follow us on our social media platforms on X, and look out for the show on YouTube. You can watch it in case you missed it. Don't forget, 8:30 every Monday.